This afternoon, I was sitting in a coffee shop and another gentleman came over. I shared the table with him and we got to talking. He asked what I do. I mentioned that I've been in natural medicine for more than 30 years, help people with brain issues and pain. But also, I have expanded into the arena of real estate and helping people buy and sell their homes. Well, we were discussing that and he was talking about the houses and buildings that he bought in the past and recently and things of that nature. He said, I had heard that the housing market is switching. That maybe 4 years previously, we're talking about the East Bay here or into that area. He said that he heard 4 or 5 months ago, there were only about 55, 60 different houses that were on the market, but now there's thousands or 1,000 or so many, and that it's much harder to sell them and the prices are dropping. And he said, do I know anything about that? Well, I try to keep my ear to the ground, listen to what's going on. There is a little discussion about that in the real estate world. Of course, supply and demand is a key factor in the price of homes, as it is in many things. So the more homes that are available, the more the possibility of there to be a little bit of price competition going on. More sellers, fewer buyers. I don't think we've really gotten to the point where there is a lack of buyers. But of course, price point always makes a difference. But what I'd like to do is shed a little extra light on this in the way that I was discussing with him at the coffee shop. I had my computer there. I really like to know about a lot of trends. I love graphs. I love to understand economic trends. And so one of the resources, I have numerous resources that many real estate people are not looking at. And one of the resources has a graphical representation of the percent increase in housing prices over the years. And it also has a way to evaluate when a market is getting hotter and when it's getting cooler. So, many of you have, I'm sure you've taken science class and you have looked at prisms. And so there's the light spectrum, right? And if it goes through a prism, instead of looking white like it is, it looks like the sun coming from the sun, it is white light. But actually, that is a combination of a bunch of different colors mixed together. And when you use a prism, it splits them into different color spectrum. Now, I bet from your early science studies, you remember the acronym called ROY-G-BIV. R-O-Y-G-B-I-V. R-O-Y, Roy, G, B-I-V. Now that stands for a clever way to remember red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. So red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. That's the order. And so this particular source that I use actually color codes different areas according to the percentage of increase year over year, increase in price or decrease in price according to that spectrum. So it is actually shedding light, literally, on the trends going on. So in this video, we're going to show you a time-lapse representation of the different areas in the United States and how they either became hotter. In other words, the prices of homes were shooting up in a much higher percentage. Those are more red, orange, yellow. Or they were cooling off, which is more the blue, the indigo, and the violet, the purple. And so this map, we're starting at the current time and working backward. And for those of you, perhaps you have also weathered a number of real estate market ups and downs, because there are real estate cycles that go on. So as you watch this video, you'll see, starting now, going backwards, you'll see the time periods, particularly, the most recent one was sort of 2007, 2008, when there was the great financial breakdown in the real estate market. For a variety of different reasons, but the prices dropped significantly and a lot of people's value in their home went down and they were so-called underwater because they were paying more in mortgage fees every month than what their house was worth. And that created a huge problem in the real estate industry for a lot of people. Many people lost their homes. Many people walked away from their homes because they were paying so much more for a home that if they had sold it at that time, they could not get the value back that they were paying on their loan. So you will see in this representation, as well as the graph coming after that, you'll see the ups and the downs of the cycles. And then we also have a special little indicator that we look at, and it shows the current quarter, past quarter, and throughout the year, different red. Red means stop, yellow means caution, green means go. And so we'll also look at this special indicator that has red light and green, sort of lights on a traffic light, talking about the current situation. Now, how predictive the colors are, it's hard to say, but there tends to be, as we'll look at it, we'll see prior to the 2007, 2008 to about 2010, 2011 time process, there were a lot of red light indicators happening before and in advance. And this particular website claims that these signals could be a forewarning of things to come. And so pay particular attention to the most recent years, and who knows, there may be already some indications that have been occurring, indicating that there may be a slowdown in the making. I can't predict that. All I can do is tell you what other really smart people, are suggesting by the data, and whether now is the time for you to buy or now is the time for you to sell. That is up to you, but I would be very happy to work with you one-on-one as your real estate advisor, not with the crystal ball, but just with some suggestions as to the direction the market might be taking, and exactly how these changes, positive or negative, may fit into your long-term and short-term plans on real estate. Thanks so much. I hope you enjoyed this video. So we're going to see three different kinds of charts. We're going to see the nation as a whole, and the picture of the colors changing. Again, this is the Roy G. Biv process, and this is 1991, starting in 91 to 92, all the way up until first quarter of 2017, or first quarter of 2018, actually. So you can see here the colors in California are down in the negative zone. 95, starting to move up a little bit in color codes, a little as back down again overall. Now it's starting to get a little more in the neutral zone. 97 is getting into the positive price increases. 98, here we are. Colors are starting to move up the chart into the more the Roy and the G area. 2001, 2, increasing percentage increases in price, single to double digits. 2002, 2003. See the colors continue to rise into the more hot ROY, red, orange, yellow colors in California, this time 2005, 6, and then we're starting to see the chill happen, and that's 2007, 2008. Across the entire country as well, and there was a nationwide downturn in real estate markets. A lot of foreclosures, a lot of bankruptcies. Once again, it's still cold here now. We're starting to heat up again. Moving up the charts into positive colors and positive home price appreciation. So we've been in this upswing of the market. You can see it's sort of in the neutral zones here. A little bit of green. 2018, first quarter. Now we're going to look at a different representation of this, which is a graphical chart which shows the percent increase or decrease in price appreciation, which is inflation adjusted, annual home price appreciation percent. The red dotted line that's bold is the Berkeley, Oakland, Hayward. And there you can see the 0% line between 2006 and 2012. There was 0 or negative percent appreciation, and this chart ends a year ago at around 5%. This is some little gauges showing some of the red, yellow indicators. A year ago is green, powerful forward, and then here we see what's called the 6 trigger technical analysis results. This again is color coded. Current quarter, short term is yellow red, intermediate and long term is yellow red. These little bar charts also indicating a little bit more on the weak side. Here we have starting 98, 97, moving upward. You can see the red dots and yellow dots telling us what's going on with the quarters, short term, long term, intermediate term, and 2006, 2007. A lot of red here. And we know that that was when the market was in negative territory, negative price appreciation. The price of and values of homes were dropping. So here we see a lot of green coming up here, starting 2010, all the way up through 2014, 2015. A lot of long-term, particularly along the right-hand side, is the long-term indication of how the health of the market is. A lot of people are looking and saying, wow, we're having these 115% bids and sale prices over the asking price because it's a seller's market in particular markets. Other markets perhaps not. Now this was in our local area. That's what this chart is, local. And then we're going to shift over to the statewide and the California look. So here we're going back in time, back down toward the chart. So you get an idea of kind of how these indicators play out. One does not always make decisions based on this kind of chart, but it could be helpful in making some decisions as far as, is one ready to sell at the higher points, or is one ready to buy at the higher points or at the lower points? It all depends on your circumstance and what you're thinking is, how long you've been in your home, what your plans are as far as staying in your home or moving to another location or getting a larger house or downsizing. All these factors are important to think about, and I am here to help you. Sit down and help you go through what your particular circumstance is to help advise you on going in the direction that you most want to go in, whether it's now, whether it's 3 months from now, or whether it's several years from now. So again, this is the state level. So feel free to call, sit down, and we'll discuss your current needs and perspectives. 510-849-1176. Thanks for watching.